Thank you very much for the introduction, for the kind words, and this is truly an honor to address the parliamentary conference here in Yerevan of the OSCE EPA. And I think this is a very important opportunity and forum also for discussing important issues that are current and concern of the international community as a whole, including Armenia. And maybe I will start from the Armenian perspective of trying to present what Armenia has been going through in the past couple of years in terms of engaging different international legal mechanisms. And I will be speaking from my competence and capacity, as I've been doing. As you mentioned in your presentation, I'm representing the Republic of Armenia before international courts, including European Court of Human Rights, International Court of Justice, and other international legal proceedings, including arbitrations. But I think in this context, as we have gathered today, it's more relevant to speak about the proceedings that Armenia has before the European Court of Human Rights and the International Court of Justice, because they're directly relevant to the topic that is being discussed today, specifically protecting minorities and peoples affected by conflict. And that's exactly what Armenia has been envisaging to do since the beginning of the conflict, I mean the war, back in 2020 fall, and when Azerbaijan launched aggressive war against Nagorno-Karabakh and Armenia, and we faced the really grave realities of the human suffering, torture, human treatment, capture and forced disappearances, missing persons, captives, and civilians dying, and people, tens of thousands of people being deprived of their homes. Even now, as we speak, just over a month ago, we had the mass of forcible displacement of Nagorno-Karabakh Armenians from Nagorno-Karabakh into Armenia. So all those realities that Armenia lives through in the past 3 years have prompted Armenia to be very active in regard of using international legal mechanisms. And in particular, Armenia has been very actively bringing cases against Azerbaijan in the European Court of Human Rights. Specifically, we have 4 interstate applications which are relating to different instances of violation of human rights, including the rights of the minorities and different types of rights, right to property, right to life, freedom from torture and inhuman treatment, and also right to liberty, and many other forms of right that are listed in the European Convention of Human Rights. And maybe I think I will start, maybe continue with the remarks of the previous speaker, I think, with regard to the roots of the conflict and the problem of not being able to prevent conflict, which I agree, maybe in the past 3 years, not only Armenia has been through these challenges, but I think it has been challenging for the entire planet, because we have many conflicts erupting in different spots of the globe, and frozen conflict exploding, and in the European continent, elsewhere, and this is very worrying, of course, for us. Of course, that puts the international legal order to test, to see what the international legal order can do to deal with these conflicts. But I agree with the previous speaker that the problem is that we need, important thing is that the international legal order is more structured to prevent those conflicts, not to deal with the active conflict. But if we're dealing with the active conflicts, it's much difficult. And one of the points that I take from previous speakers' presentation is the hate speech, the animosity and hatred that is being spewed through the social media. And that's for us too is one of the causes of the conflict and root causes of the conflict that we have. And this is very worrying, because that's why Armenia has initiated a case at the ICJ, International Court of Justice, based on the Convention on Elimination of All Forms of Racial Discrimination. This is a key convention which prohibits the policies of racial discrimination, racial animosity towards specific groups, including ethnic group, for example. And what we faced in the past years, I think it is specifically the result of this decades-long animosity and hate propaganda, including by the political leadership of the country, I mean Azerbaijan, and that's the very sad reality that we live in. And the cases that Armenia has brought before the International Court of Justice resulted in several interior provisional measures orders that were issued by the court. Specifically, the first one was issued by the court back in December 2021, which was relating to the cessation and relating to ending the hate propaganda and hate speech by the public authorities of Azerbaijan, and relating to the preservation of the rights of the ethnic Armenians that are under the control in Azerbaijan, and also preservation of the cultural property and monuments, Armenian cultural property monuments in Nagorno-Karabakh under the control of Azerbaijan. So later on we had, of course, cases relating to, in terms of provisional measure applications relating to the blockade of the Lachin corridor, as you may know. And that's one of the other later unfortunate developments that we had, blocking by blocking of the Lachin corridor, blocking the more than 100,000 people from the livelihood and food, drugs, and medicine that are necessary for the survival, and which, of course, then unfortunately resulted into ethnic cleansing. And I think all this, and by the way, just days ago, I just returned from The Hague, where I was present at the hearing of the International Court of Justice, which delivered its order in relating to a request by the Republic of Armenia, which relates to the events of forcible displacement of ethnic Armenians from Nagorno-Karabakh in September this year. And the court specifically ordered very important measures relating to right to return of the ethnic Armenians of Nagorno-Karabakh. And the court actually specifically recognized the obligation of Azerbaijan to ensure that persons who have left Nagorno-Karabakh after 19 September 2023 who wish to return to Nagorno-Karabakh are able to do so in safe, unimpeded, and expeditious manner. And there are many other measures that the court indicated, importantly, for example, or ensure the persons who remained in Nagorno-Karabakh after 19 September who wish to depart able to do so, and also ensure that persons who remained in Nagorno-Karabakh after September or returned to Nagorno-Karabakh who wish to stay are free from use of force, intimidation that may cause them to flee. And the courts actually issued this, and the court actually also obliged Azerbaijan to present a report to the court in 8 weeks, which should be in January. And I think this is an important development that the members, also the present here, should maybe know about that, and why Armenia is bringing also these cases and proceedings to the international courts. I think it's very simple, because we are appealing to the international courts, which is a pure and streamlined process of evidentiary finding, meaning that the countries usually, when they are presenting some facts or evidentiary materials, they tend to present from their own perspective. Mm-hmm. But when you go to court, when you present your evidence and positioning to the court, and you listen the other side's opposition to it, and you get the decision or judgment, which is the objective reality. And that's important in this regard. And Armenia and the ICJ already has issued 3 interim measure decisions applying provisional measures, and I'm not speaking about the European Court of Human Rights. And we think that this is the way. And also, if we are thinking in terms of peace, that's important to highlight that I think these proceedings, these legal proceedings, are also intended to lead to peace, because those international legal proceedings are nothing more than peaceful means of settlement of disputes. And I'm sorry, but this is an important highlight. Maybe I'll stop here. If there will be any questions, I'll be happy to reply. Thank you very much.